Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and here you have the Santol or koetjape. One of the, I wouldn't say rare, I wouldn't say less well known, but one of the less common fruits in Southeast Asia. What do I mean by less common? On YouTube or on other social media, they often big influencers who make videos about the rarest fruits in the world, and usually they get a bunch of Southeast Asian fruits. I don't know, do they do it their first trip to Bali or to Bangkok, or their first trip to a Thai or a Chinese shop in the West? But usually it's a compilation of about 10 Southeast Asian fruits. And then of course Southeast Asians are outraged in the comments because those fruits which those influencers call the rarest fruits in the world are as normal to hundreds of millions of people, sometimes to billions of people, as are apples or plums to us. The Santol has never appeared in any of those videos. By the way, those people often confuse photos of similar looking fruits. Also, sometimes when they are trying them, they are buying some random vegetables, often not even fruity vegetables, but something else at the supermarket, at the Chinese or Thai supermarket, and they complain how horrible those taste. Yeah, because you have to cook them and usually often peel them and stuff like that. So Santol never appears in those videos. It's not one of the really common fruits in Southeast Asia. It's also not one of the rarest fruits. I mean, if you're like me going to the jungles of Borneo looking for rare durians, rare mangoes, and other rare jungle fruits, this is not one of the most rare fruits. It's like, how shall I describe it? If it's about European fruits and you say, yes, apples, plums, strawberries, and somebody says, yeah, but what about like rowans or service berries or medlars? And you say, yes, of course, those also. It is one of the normal fruits, but not one of the really common fruits. Here in Asia, I see it on markets 2 or 3 times per year. I'm here about 4 months a year. I also see it maybe once in parks or private gardens per year. So it is being grown around here. You can find it if you really want, but it's not an everyday fruit on the markets. So that much about not very common, but also not very rare fruits. Now about the Santol, a very interesting fruit. It's a relative of mahogany, of sky fruit. It's in the Meliaceae. Mahogany has a very good, very valuable timber, but no edible fruits. The fruits of mahogany are medicinal. This stuff here has edible fruits. The timber is also usable, but it's not as durable as mahogany, unfortunately. Well, maybe fortunately, because good timbers get cut down really fast. There are a couple different species. I've also found wild species here in Borneo, but the species which is being grown throughout the tropics nowadays originates from like Cambodia, Laos, Malaysia. By Malaysia, I mean the continental part of Malaysia, the peninsular part, and probably Thailand. Here in Borneo, well, in Kalimantan where I'm right now, it's not native, but it's being grown from time to time. It's being eaten out of hand. It can also be used for rice wines and also be eaten with spices and so on. The interesting thing is, it looks basically like almost every tropical jungle fruit in Southeast Asia. And this is a type of fruit which is, I haven't seen those in temperate fruits, but around here it's very common. A thick rind. Inside the thick rind, one or usually several arils, which are like tasty edible parts, basically the fruity parts, and then big seeds inside. Basically all the jungle fruits around here have arils, and most of the wild type here is used to opening thick rinded fruits and taking out the arils and dispersing the seeds like this. There are almost no fruits with thin rinds. There are almost no fruits without aril. Sometimes it's one aril, like with the rambutan. Sometimes it's several, like with the durian or with the Santol. Yeah. Oh, also an anecdote to show to you how rare it is. It is a market fruit around here, but when Anthony Lamb, a great botanist in Malaysia, mostly in Sabah, was preparing his book about the market fruits of Borneo, I met him in the botanic garden of Tenom, in the Tenom Agricultural Park, which he founded, where he was collecting one pile of Santol in order to make a photo for his book. Yes, it's a market fruit, but during all the years, he has seen it a couple times on the market, but he never took a picture. And when he needed his book, he had pictures of all the other market fruits in Borneo, just not of the Santol, because yeah, you will see it from time to time, but it's not that common. Why is it not that common? Well, I've seen a lot of those things go pretty bad quite early, so it's difficult to keep them in good shape. By the way, the inside was all white when I cut them. Within minutes it oxidized, just like apples. Here you can see 3 pollinated adults and 2 unpollinated ones. So let's try the stuff. A nice sweet and sour taste with a little bit of an apple flavor. Not very juicy. The flesh, to be honest, consisting mostly of fibers. It's not a bad fruit, but if you compare it like with some of the most popular fruits around here, a mango, in this case a smelly queenie, a rambutan, or a mangosteen, I would say they're all superior to it. Yeah, it's nice to have Santol from time to time, but you wouldn't have it as one of your main fruits like mangoes, rambutans, or mangosteens. Some say some good varieties are as good as mangosteen. The first Santol I tried in Java was actually the best so far. Since then I've found a couple of cage varieties, but no really great ones yet. I guess that's the reason it's not one of the main market fruits around here. This is the first seed, and there is still a lot of flesh and fibers attached to it, so yeah, it's not so easy to eat it efficiently, except if you have a lot of time on your hands. So folks, tell me, what do you think about the Santol? Do you think it should be one of the main fruits here in Southeast Asia? Maybe you are even from an area where it is one of the main fruits. Tell me what you think. Apart from that, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos. Not anymore from the beautiful and incredibly fruit-rich island of Kalimantan, which I'm leaving now, but from peninsular Malaysia. And of course, don't forget that YouTube will not recommend my videos to you even if you subscribe. Better press the little bell icon, then YouTube has to notify you when I upload.